Welcome to LSB Feaster's Radio Aircheck and Classic TV channel.
This is complete coverage of Hurricane Michael on News Radio 100.7 WFLA and 107.1 KISS FM.
We are back. Jason Taylor with Rick Flagg, and now look at that. It's Dave Allen from 100.7 in the producer chair over there.
News Radio 100.7 WFLA.
What are you doing over there, Dave?
To be honest, Ryan had to take his dog pee.
Oh, I see. He does have a, yeah.
I offered to take the dog, so.
He does have a sweet dog.
I got this, I got stuck with the chair instead.
I like it.
I'd have rather taken the dog out myself. But
yes.
This weather?
Well, we don't have this weather.
Oh, okay.
I came back from a lunch break, and I walk in, and I go, I expected it to be blowing much worse than this by now.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, though, with animals, especially dogs, they can sense the drop in pressure like this, and they get really stressed by it. I really feel so sorry for
Chester in
animals.
there, for instance, Chester in Studio 1C, which is our Blue Lobster, has been going crazy today. Usually,
Blue Lobster?
have you not seen
Right
that?
up there in the tank there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's been very active today, and I think he's like, hey. He's trying to get out of here.
Wait, that's a real critter? I thought that was just some little wind-up animated thing.
This whole time I'm sitting next to a blue lobster?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That's right.
Seriously.
Yeah, he used to be an actual full-size lobster, but we used a shrink ray on him.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy,
well,
this is
you
getting-
would be blue, too, if you were a lobster trapped in that little thing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
So you mean that lobster has to listen to Preston Scott every day? Okay.
He is privileged enough to listen to myself and Preston Scott every day.
Well, look at you. Well, Rick, you want to give us an update on the power outages now?
Oh, it's only getting worse there, my friend. Let's see. City of Tallahassee reporting 9,288 customers are in the dark. Talquin Electric, 14,281. Those are fairly substantial increases over the last half hour, so it's starting to hit the fan.
Yeah, what's interesting is the number from Killarn is gone down, and now the number from like Hosford, Gretna, Woodville, those are shooting up for Talquin users.
Oh, so the poorer parts are having trouble and the wealthier parts are getting their power back? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, kind of. Not really.
Rick. Do we have to have this discussion now, my friend?
But we do have 19,000 utility workers ready to restore power when it's all done.
When it's all done. What I would like to point out, and not that we're just trying to joke around during this very serious time, what I would like to point out is that we are on Facebook Live, and
they can see us.
See, you've angered Preston Scott by your political comment, Rick.
Here we go.
How was that political?
Here we go.
That was the socioeconomic thing.
Well, I was trying to tell.
I can't control it.
Thank you, Jason, for sitting up. I was trying to tell you that you're on Facebook Live, and
I kind of got that.
Jason's all slouched down here like this.
Well, I'm
we're going to be here for a while, so I might as well get comfortable.
trying to get comfy.
Normally that body language doesn't come through on radio.
We have our own ways we do things, our own method to
You're
our
on
madness.
television tonight.
Yeah,
as
that's
well
right.
as radio. So,
Well, folks, we don't mean to be acting this goofy this soon before the storm hits. We promise, but we digress.
you know what? If we're going to do it, it best be now, because we're not going to be doing it later.
Yeah. It's going to get way too serious, way too fast.
I did just find out that the Hurricane Hunter aircraft inside Hurricane Michael, get this, y'all, air pressure is now down to 919 millibars, and if the measurement verifies, that means Michael is now stronger than both Hurricanes Andrew and Katrina in terms of pressure.
Wow.
So that's something.
And the Weather Channel reports that the eye wall is coming on shore now.
Coming on shore in Panama City Beach.
So there you go.
So is it actually Panama City Beach, or anything to the left or right, or east or west?
It hasn't said. I mean, I know Dr. Ray had said he was expecting more toward Mexico Beach, right?
Right.
Well, they are showing live on the Weather Channel. There's still a guy standing right there in downtown, Panama City Beach. And well, if there is a downtown, there's not really, but and he's standing there, and you're thinking, is he really? I mean, can you stand against 150 mile an hour wind like that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know they're actually getting that much wind at this point, though. The maximum gusts I've seen out of the area are 97. So I'm not sure where the 150 mile an hour winds are, but they haven't hit Panama City yet. Right now, they're saying they just had a gust of 62. So, it's...
All right, well, we're getting conflicting information on that then.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't know if it was a good question. That's all.
Well, that's why I usually leave the questions up to Preston.
I did just get this city of Tallahassee. It's just reiterating, basically, but their latest release says Hurricane Michael will be the strongest hurricane to make landfall in our area in recorded history. Impacts will be severe. Widespread damage to buildings, utility infrastructure, down trees, and block roadways are expected. Crews will be deployed to inspect roads, and utilities will begin as soon as conditions are safe. Plan for an extended restoration and recovery period. We will rebuild together, but it will take time due to extensive damage. That's good.
What we're going to face here, we understand that the grid here can't take a lot of weather, a lot of wind, a lot of water. We know that trees will fall. We know that power will be out for a while. What we also should understand and recognize is that our neighbors to the south are going to face so much more than we are, even though we may be in bad shape for weeks to come. Maybe out of power in many different places around Tallahassee for weeks to come. But we're going to have to do a lot, rally together as much as we might be facing, and go down and help our neighbors.
That's right. Just like Rick was saying earlier, this is the time to check on your neighbors, see what you can do to help them, be there for each other. I know we've all been through a lot of storms. I remember Hurricane Ivan over in Pensacola, where whole neighborhoods were being condemned, and people were having to go and rescue neighbors out of their homes, and then power was out for close to a month over there. Can you imagine?
There's only one good thing, and Rick, you know this. There's only one good thing about this storm, and it's the fact that it's moving quickly.
That's true.
Less rain, less flooding, but still nasty.
Very nasty. And again, 9 millibars shy of what Camille was years ago.
Holy cow.
So it's that strong as far as pressure. So it's stronger than Andrew and Katrina as far as pressure, and just 9 millibars away from Camille's strength.
I had the folks at the Weather Channel, and I'll say it this way. I had the folks at the Weather Channel compare this particular storm to Opal. A storm that I wasn't obviously around for, but I've heard some of the old...
that would be me, yeah.
Exactly. I've heard folks like Rick Scott remind me or tell me about Opal and how it affected this area. But the folks at the Weather Channel that were around during that time... were telling me this storm acted a lot like Opal did at that time, and it caused some major damage from what I was told.
Yeah, I was 15 when Opal happened, and living in Dothan was where I'm from, and we had a lot of folks from Panama City evacuate to Dothan. But then when they got back, Panama City, I don't remember the timeline, but power was out a long time, structures very badly damaged. It was a rough storm. I don't really agree with comparing hurricanes, because you really can't compare them. They're all so different.
Well, if you work for the Weather Channel, you can, because the nuances, the way that they form, the way that they act, they almost have their different personalities. And apparently Michael has acted a lot like Opal did. So...
And we were wondering where the winds were. I just got a text pointing out that the Gulf County Emergency Operations Center just reported a gust of 113 miles per hour.
Jeez, wow, that's something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, y'all give us a call at 205-9352. We'd love to hear from you and how you're doing during the storm or the preliminary parts of the storm. You can also email me, jason@iheartradio.com, or preston@iheartradio.com. And we'll be back. Continuous coverage of Hurricane Michael on your Tallahassee iHeartRadio stations.
Before you know it, the fall temperatures will be here. Fewer bugs, beautiful breeze, cooler temperatures, and that means time to open up the windows, or can you? Why don't you have Kirk come out from Window World? See what brand new replacement windows from Window World can do for your home. Not only will you enjoy the fall weather more, you'll save money on your utility bill. Go to TallahasseeWindows.com or call 562-8800.
This is your car. It's your constant companion that carries your most important items. For many of us, it's something we rely on every day. You think it's perfectly safe, but think again. Vehicle theft can take place when you least expect it. Every year, over 700,000 motor vehicles are reported stolen in the United States. When exiting our vehicles, we often forget little things that may make our cars vulnerable to theft. It's no wonder that every 44 seconds a motor vehicle is stolen in the United States. 40 to 50% of vehicle theft is due to driver error, which includes leaving vehicle doors unlocked and leaving keys in the ignition or on the seats. Thieves know what to look for, like your CD, MP3 player, cell phone, GPS, ID cards, and house keys. Instead of making your vehicle a target, take a moment to think about how you can easily protect it. To find out more ways to protect your vehicle, visit safercar.gov/theft.
This week at Kevin's, new fall gear coming in from Patagonia and North Face. Of course, you can get your hunting licenses, and the gun special is the Kimber Micro 9 and Micro 380 concealed carry handguns. Kevin's Guns and Sporting Goods, 2 locations.
More than a third of adults in the U.S. are obese. Weight gain occurs when you consume more calories than your body uses. Reaching and maintaining a healthy weight will help you prevent and control many diseases and conditions such as cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. The key is finding a balance in your lifestyle that includes healthy eating and regular physical activity. To achieve this balance, go to www.cdc.gov. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and always stay in the kitchen when cooking at high temperatures. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov because fire is everyone's fight.
Thousands of American troops have come home from Iraq and Afghanistan with post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injuries.
I don't think anybody who goes into combat could ever honestly say that they're not different when they come home.
Don't brush us aside and don't count us out.
Help the USO support these troops and their families. Hear their stories at usoinvisiblewounds.org. The wounds are invisible. The stories are real.
There are a ton of social networking websites, but one stands apart for a very special reason. This one saves lives. It's matchingdonors.com. Matchingdonors.com links organ donors with people in need of kidney and other transplants. In the U.S., 19 people die each day waiting for an organ transplant, most of them for kidneys. If you've ever considered becoming a living organ donor, or if you're someone in need of an organ transplant, visit matchingdonors.com, home of the greatest gift of all, the gift of life, matchingdonors.com.
The following message is brought to you by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Many types of disasters can lead to you and your family being evacuated from your home. Fires and floods can occur in any part of Florida, and you may need to evacuate when these threaten. People in coastal communities need to be prepared to evacuate when hurricanes and tropical storms strike. Evacuation should be a part of your overall family preparedness plan. Keep yourself and your family safe. Get a plan.
Okay, Sarah, I'm dropping you at Emily's, and Josh, you're going to soccer, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, and by the way, when I pick you up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, me and my short shorts doing my daddy dance. Your friends will love it.
No!
Well, I might change my mind if you buckle your seatbelts.
Okay, we're buckling up. See, all buckled.
Whatever it takes, keep them safe. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Seeing the world through new eyes and the earth from miles above. Not just breaking news, but breaking barriers. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout.
FNN News Alert, I'm Deborah Roberts. Hurricane Michael is closing in on the Florida Panhandle with sustained wind speeds reaching nearly 150 miles per hour, according to the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center. The increase in wind speed is just shy of the Category 5 storm status of 156 miles per hour. Michael was about 60 miles south-southwest of Panama City and about 65 miles west-southwest of Apalachicola. It's moving north-northeast at 14 miles per hour. The weather has begun to turn very dangerous, with the potential to be deadly in some areas. Officials say it's the most powerful storm to ever threaten the Panhandle. Meanwhile, FEMA Administrator Brock Long says his agency is ready to move in quickly once the storm passes.
We have search and rescue teams staged to be able to move into Florida and to the areas highly impacted in Florida, but also Georgia as well.
Military and law enforcement are also mobilizing in preparation for Hurricane Michael. Deborah Roberts, Florida News Network.
This is complete coverage of Hurricane Michael on your iHeart radio stations.
Thank you very much for listening on the Tallahassee iHeart radio stations. And now we've picked up our Panama City iHeart radio stations as well, which is where Hurricane Michael is making landfall finally. We're just getting word from our authorities that it's just now touching down on the portion of Panama City Beach as a Category 4 storm with incredibly strong winds and a catastrophic storm with life-threatening storm surge. Now is the time to be very careful and stay safe, folks.
And to look at the positive, it made it here without being a Cat 5. So there's one good thing that happened today.
That's right. Yeah. It's not a good chance it's going to strengthen at this point into Category 5. We were certainly fearing that. But we want to welcome our stations over in Panama City for joining the broadcast. I think they had some trouble with their terrestrial signals over there, so they're picking up our broadcast so they can stay informed, and we'll try to keep the information flowing over here just as well as we can. Right, Dave?
Absolutely. And we want to welcome on Dr. Peter Ray, our expert with HurricaneHunt.com. Dr. Ray, how are you?
I am fine, thank you.
So tell us, what is the latest? We've just heard Jason tell us about what is happening in Panama City Beach. What can we expect and when?
Well, you are just entering for the next hour the worst it's going to be. And after that, it's all starts getting better, although you're not out of the woods, but you can see light at the end of the tunnel. The next hour, during the next hour, you should be getting past the eye, past the eye wall, into the eye, which will be very calm if it's overhead. Give you a chance to go out and survey the damage, and then you do get a second blast, but it won't be as bad as what you'll be experiencing this next hour. This next hour is the worst hour of the storm.
And that second blast you're talking about is after the eye passes through. It's the portion under the eye, right? Yes.
It's under the eye, but the eye will be over land then, and the storm actually will begin to weaken. And but it's in the backside of the eye is not as strong as the part that's coming off the water. The right hand quadrant, the right front quadrant is where the weather is worst, and then the baton will be passed to northern Florida, where the storm is projected to pass west of Tallahassee, creating havoc in Tallahassee, probably with downed trees more than anything else, and power outages, and then early tomorrow morning head into Georgia.
Gotcha. I was just noticing here with Gulf Power, their outage map, and now that we picked up our Panama City iHeart radio stations, there's a total of 87,008 customers without power, and that's in the Panama City area that they serve for Gulf Power. So already a lot of power outages there, and that's only going to get worse.
Yeah, it'll get worse. Tallahassee will have potentially at least hurricane force gusts, maybe even some sustained hurricane force winds as it passes by Tallahassee.
And that's what I wanted to ask you about, Dr. Ray. What can we expect as far as miles per hour is concerned?
It'll be, as it passes, you're talking about passing close to Tallahassee.
Yes.
It'll be at least Category 2, I expect, force winds.
Category 2 now, okay.
Mm-hmm. It could be Category 1 or 2. It a little depends upon how close it is. But it'll be passing to the west, which means it'll be getting the east side of the storm, which is the rougher side of the storm, and it'll be weakening some. But this storm is not going to weaken as fast as it's moving. It's not going to weaken a lot, but it will definitely once this eye gets on shore. All this talk about Category 5 and 4, it'll be down. Probably it'll lose a lot of strength, but it'll still be a hurricane going into Georgia early tomorrow morning.
So right now the eye is making its way onto land, and right there I would say just east of the state park, Andrews State Park, and Tyndall Air Force Base, Mexico Beach, Port St. Joe, St. Vincent Island, St. George Island. Those areas must be getting hammered right now, being exactly east of the eye, right?
They are, and of course, the other thing that people sometimes don't realize, they talk about storm surge, which in this case, a storm surge could be 8, 10, 13 feet, but the wave height is not part of storm surge. So the wave and the high water mark is on top of the storm surge, in addition to the storm surge. So that's when it hits a house or on a beach house. It's not necessarily just the storm surge. It's the waves that ride on top.
And just to reiterate, you said the worst of what Tallahassee is going to get will happen within the next hour, correct?
No, not Tallahassee.
Panama City.
Panama City. Tallahassee, it'll be, late tonight.
Gotcha. Well, that's interesting. Even late tonight, I would think even earlier than that. But
even as fast as the storm is moving. So can I get a timeline as to when we might expect and what we might expect here in Tallahassee?
Well, it's moving at 13 miles an hour, and it's probably going to move, it's how many miles it is between you and Tallahassee. I'm guessing it's, close to 100 miles, but that may be not quite right. Might be less than that. But if you divide that by 13, which is the forward speed, approximately, that's the number of hours it'll take.
And keep in mind, Weewa, Mexico Beach, Weewa, Broad Branch, Bluntstown, Bristol, White Springs, Hosford, all those little towns. Fort Brayton.
Highway 20.
Right along Highway 20. Those are the ones that you guys are in the path, and even to the east of the I, too. So it's going to get...
And they're not that far north, so they'll be getting, Category 3 winds at least.
Yeah, right now, watching those bands whip around and hammer those little communities now as we speak, as the eye approaches the Gulf, the coast at least, All right, Dr. Ray, we appreciate it. It's great to have your expertise on that, and we want to tell all of our folks over in Panama City to batten it down and stay safe, because this is the worst of it, as Dr. Ray says. We're getting into the worst of it right now.
If they hang on for the next hour, it'll still be bumpy, but they'll be over the worst.
Very good. Thank you so much, Dr. Ray. We appreciate it. All right, and now the power outage total in Panama City for Gulf Power customers, 92,139. So that number keeps going up very steadily. And Rick, you've got some road closures to share?
Yeah, some couple of roads that are, let's just say Highway 98 in Franklin County, forget it.
Okay, right.
There are trees down, there are power lines down, and all of the bridges in Franklin County are now closed.
Right.
Also in Wakulla County, State Road 363 is closed. That's from St. Mark's City Hall to the St. Mark's River.
Wow.
Those are the only closings we have so far, but there will be many more as the storm moves through.
And bridges are not going to fare very well with this kind of storm surge either.
No. They'll just, as soon as it gets to be tropical storm winds, they usually shut them off right about then.
So we have the curfew for Gadsden and Liberty counties right now. We'll try to reach out and find out any other curfews that are in place, but folks, it's not time to get on the roads and try to be brave or try to go and try to do anything outside of where you are safely right now.
Yeah, I suppose I should have pointed that out. The roads are closed for a good reason. You shouldn't be out there.
Not at all. Absolutely. You can call us at 205-9352. That's 850-205-9352. That's also for our Panama City listeners that we're picked up over there with our iHeartRadio stations listening, and the brunt of the storm onto the Gulf Coast right now. 205-9352. You can also email jason@iheartradio.com or preston@iheartradio.com. We'd love to hear from you and hear how you're doing during the storm. It's continuous coverage of Hurricane Michael on your Tallahassee and Panama City iHeartRadio stations.
As Michael bears down on the Florida Panhandle, our winds will be increasing through the afternoon and overnight hours. Tropical storm force winds during the day today, and then our winds overnight could run 70 to 90 miles an hour. The rain and the wind will begin to decrease during the day tomorrow. I'm News Radio 100.7 FM, WFLA's Terry Smith in the Weather Channel Forecast Center.
Safe Touch Security was by our offices just the other day, and they played something that was very moving to me and very scary. Hi, it's David Allen for Safe Touch. We were able to listen to audio from the two-way communicator after a woman's home was broken into. The Safe Touch agent came on the line immediately after the alarm was set off, and all you could hear was the woman screaming, "Help me, help me. Someone is trying to kill me." Well, as you can imagine, the reality of that conversation really set in. This was no movie. This was no television show. This was a real-life scenario where a person's life hung in the balance. Police were dispatched immediately, and that day, Safe Touch saved a life. For as little as $29.95 a month, you can get that peace of mind. That's less than $1 a day, fitting any budget. Find out which one is right for you at safetouch.com. That's safetouch.com.
Hurt? Dial pound 529 on your cell. Pound law, that's all.
Cloth or disposable? Paint or wallpaper? Yellow or green?
Babies come with lots of decisions.
Crib or bassinet? Rocker or glider?
So when it comes to protection against diseases, go with the safest, most effective choice, vaccination. To protect your child against 14 serious childhood diseases like measles, meningitis, and whooping cough. That's why nearly all parents choose it.
Stroller or carriage? Basketball or soccer?
So get all the recommended vaccinations for your baby by age 2. For more reasons to vaccinate, talk to your child's doctor. Go to cdc.gov/vaccines or call 800-CDC-INFO.
Justin or Justine.
Immunizations help give you the power to protect your baby. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Join us at The Longest Table on Sunday, October 14th at 5 p.m. in the heart of downtown Tallahassee. The Longest Table has evolved over the years into an award-winning initiative, bringing people together in cities and schools across the country. Here at home, The Longest Table continues to provide an opportunity for neighbors to connect and have thoughtful discussions about our community. We look forward to seeing you on October 14th on Duval Street as we come together to break bread and break down barriers. RSVP today at longesttable.com.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
When it comes to protecting your baby, you can never do enough. You bundle them up and strap them in. That's why most parents choose immunization. Nothing protects babies better from 14 serious childhood diseases. So keep up with and get the recommended immunizations for your baby by age 2. For more reasons to vaccinate, go to cdc.gov/vaccines or call 800-CDC-INFO. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
More than 100 million wild animals are killed each year illegally. Poaching is a major threat to our country's wildlife. I'm Tom Barry. I'm an actor with a desire to preserve living space for wildlife. The Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust does just that. Works with private landowners to protect wildlife, to preserve natural habitats. To learn more or to work with the Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust, call 800-729-SAVE. That's 800-729-SAVE or visit wildlifelandtrust.org. Thank you.
We all play a role in keeping our community safe.
Every day, we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good, others not so much.
But that's life.
It's when something doesn't seem quite right that it's time to pay attention.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
FNN News Alert, I'm Deborah Roberts. Hurricane Michael is closing in on the Florida Panhandle with sustained wind speeds reaching nearly 150 miles per hour, according to the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center. The increase in wind speed is just shy of the Category 5 storm status of 156 miles per hour. Michael was about 60 miles south-southwest of Panama City and about 65 miles west-southwest of Apalachicola. It's moving north-northeast at 14 miles per hour. The weather has begun to turn very dangerous with a potential potential to be deadly in some areas. Officials say it's the most powerful storm to ever threaten the Panhandle. Meanwhile, FEMA Administrator Brock Long says his agency is ready to move in quickly once the storm passes.
We have search and rescue teams staged to be able to move into Florida and to the areas highly impacted in Florida, but also Georgia as well.
Military and law enforcement are also mobilizing in preparation for Hurricane Michael. Deborah Roberts, Florida News Network.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Chris Foster. The eye wall of Hurricane Michael has reached the Florida Panhandle. It's the strongest storm in recorded history there. Maximum sustained wind near the center of the storm, 150 miles an hour. National Hurricane Center Director Ken Graham says we're going to see
catastrophic wind damage. We're looking at trees down, power outages for weeks. You're talking about structures collapsing, roofs off associated with this wind. But we got to look a little further inland too. So if you're watching this, we could still see a hurricane traveling further north into Georgia.
President Trump says he's worried about people who stayed behind. The president also saying today that he's demanding answers from the Saudi Arabian government about a journalist who disappeared after visiting the Saudi embassy in Turkey. He says Jamal Khashoggi's fiance wrote him a letter asking for help.
We're in contact with her now, and we want to bring her to the White House. It's a very sad situation. It's a very bad situation, and we want to get to the bottom of it.
This is Fox News.
This is complete coverage of Hurricane Michael on News Radio 100.7 WFLA and X 101.5.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening to our Tallahassee and Panama City iHeartRadio coverage of Hurricane Michael. I'm Jason Taylor with Rick Flagg here and also Dave Allen. You can call us here at the studio, 850-205-9352. We'd love to hear from you and hear how you're doing during the storm. Also, email jason@iheartradio.com or preston@iheartradio.com to let us know how things are with your property, with your neighborhood, your neck of the woods, power outages, trees, any kind of conditions like that with the storm.
We got some updated road closings for you here in Wakulla County. Riverside Drive, Surf Road, the Old Fort Road, and Mashes Sands and Bottoms Road, all closed. So stay out of there. In fact, don't drive anywhere right now. Also, Highway 98 in Franklin County, pretty much unpassable because of trees, and all the bridges in Franklin County are closed. So be safe. Don't go anywhere. Now, as far as the shelters, they are open. There are more than 1,000 people sheltering in Leon County. But that's about it. They don't want you heading for the shelters. It's too late for that. Oh, there are also another 400 people that are staying at the Kearney Center, the homeless shelter that does not like to be called a homeless shelter.
I love the little commentary. Oh, that's good. Sharon, you on the line right now?
I am.
All right, that's Sharon Tyler, ladies and gentlemen, from the Red Cross, the executive director, and we'll get with her in just 1 minute. I want to make sure you were there, Sharon. The eye of the storm, folks, right now is centered right on top of the Gulf Coast, right at Tyndall Air Force Base, as it makes its way inland. Mexico Beach right now getting hit with the east of the eye, so that's going to be the most intense winds and storm surge right now. Also, Port St. Joe, St. Joseph Bay, St. Vincent Island, St. George Island, all those areas right now are seeing the worst of it. That's east of the eye right now. As it continues to move inland, Weewa, Bluntstown, Bristol, Wilma, the small little communities, White Springs, Hosford, are all in the path to really get it. The areas west of the eye are going to be more like the Front Beach Road, portion of Panama City Beach, Lynn Haven, Southport, the more of the little towns inland in Panama City, which are still getting it, but you're getting west of the eye right now. And like Dr. Ray said, once the eye passes, you're going to see the second wave, and it's going to seem like the storm's over, but that's just because the eye's on top of you. And then after that, the rest of the storm's going to come, the latter part of it, and you'll feel the same effects again, the wind and the rain picking back up. So Sharon is the executive director for the American Red Cross Capital Region. And do you guys cover Panama City as well, Sharon?
We do not, but it is part of the North Florida region. Gary Kendall is the executive director over there. We've been in constant contact with him as one of our partners, and share disaster volunteers and share space and heart as far as our region goes.
Very good.
We've got probably close to 50 to 100 volunteers here at the chapter that are pretty much hunkered down. Another 500 or more coming in from across the country. We had to have them staged in Orlando because, as you know, our airport's closed in the area, and we weren't able to bring them in here, so they'll be coming in here as soon as it's safe to do so. Of the volunteers that are staying here, it's a difficult thing to watch come in. Many of them are from Wakulla County and know that they're most likely not going to have a home to go back to. And so, but they're up here volunteering and working and making sure that they're going to be able to play a part in keeping other people safe and sheltered.
Okay, wonderful. Tell us about the phone app that the Red Cross has right now that can be beneficial for anyone basically that's in the path of the storm or dealing with the after effects of the storm right now.
So our free emergency app, it's called the Red Cross Emergency App. You can get it from your app store. It helps you know what to do before a hurricane, which is a little bit late right now, but it helps you know what to do during a hurricane. So I hope you've got it pulled up or downloaded, and also what to do afterwards. It's also going to cover flooding, what to do before, during, and after, power outages before, during, and after, and tornadoes. All of the above information. It's really critical. We are probably, parts of our area, going to experience all four of those disasters, most especially the power outage and probably the flooding for a good part of the listening area. So it's critical that people have that information, know what to do, know what to turn off. So before the storm or during the storm, and know what to do before you turn something back on. That's critical information that you need to know. You don't turn your gas off and then just automatically turn it back on by yourself. There's things that you need to get professionals to do for you. It also is going to show you where the shelters are located. We've got evacuation centers. There's 5 evacuation centers here in Leon County that are being operated by the Leon County School District. Once the storm has passed and within about 72 hours of time, those shelters will transition to typical host shelters. We'll be able to move more resources in the form of cots and blankets and hot food, etc. Right now, none of our staff or volunteers or our emergency response vehicles are allowed out on the roads because we are experiencing tropical force storm winds here in the area now. Our surrounding counties have got shelters as well. We've got 3 in Gadsden County. There's 1 in Jefferson County, 1 in Taylor County, and 1 in Liberty County. And then as you go further out on either side, there's additional shelters as well. There are no shelters in Franklin County, nor are there any in Wakulla County. We did have a shelter in Wakulla County, but it is only safe up to a level 2 hurricane. And due to that, plus the fact that a lot of Wakulla County has the potential to be underwater, before this thing is all said and done, it wasn't a safe place to stay.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's safe to say that there's not any getting on the roads right now to go to any shelters. So, yeah.
No, we're not encouraging people to do so. We're encouraging, again, another important reason to have the app downloaded is it's going to help you know what to do if you do have to shelter in place.
Okay.
It's going to give you some safety tips to help you do that.
Okay, wonderful.
Sharon, since we're looking at extended damages and some pretty nasty stuff coming this way, I wanted to see what sort of provisions have we made to keep these shelters open for a while, because it looks like some people aren't going to be able to go home right away.
Well, so it totally depends on what the damage is like here in Tallahassee as to what the school system, when they're going to be wanting to get up and operational. Right now, it's no way to tell.
Okay.
You know, we were out about a week for Hermine. This could make Hermine look like a little summer rainstorm. It just depends on exactly what type of wind we get. Once we're out of the schools, we will transition into churches, into other community partner areas that we would be able to house folks in, and we'll do so as long as we need to. I mean, obviously sheltering long term is not anyone's goal or anything anybody wants to do, but we are cognizant of the fact that there will be many people that don't have a home to go back to, and so we'll make sure that we're doing everything we can to help them on their road to recovery.
Now, the schools are planning to reopen as early as Monday, which means that we would lose those as shelters. Can we handle that transfer of folks?
Yes, we'll be able to do that by then. Like I said, we've got all the hundreds of volunteers that are coming in. We'll work with our partner agencies, our churches to help house these folks. We'll do what we have to do to help take care of our communities. That's the great thing. We'll have people from all across the country. We already do actually have people from all across the country that are here at the chapter. We've got our professional hurricane teams that are here from national that, you know, this is something that they do every year. Fortunately, we don't have to do it every year in Florida, although it's not feeling like that too much right now. This 3 years in a row is a bit much.
Well, that's good info, Sharon. We sure appreciate your time, okay?
You're more than welcome. Y'all stay safe.
Thank you very much. Sharon Tyler from the Red Cross, the executive director, and that's good information for Tallahassee and Panama City. The eye wall is moving onshore now. 106-mile-per-hour gust reported, and you're getting continuous coverage of Hurricane Michael on your Tallahassee and Panama City iHeart radio stations.
Sometimes choosing between two politicians feels like choosing the lesser of two evils. Well, this year, you're on the ballot because Amendment 3 is on the ballot. Amendment 3 puts voters in charge of casino gambling in Florida. Not politicians, not lobbyists, you. Amendment 3 is different from most amendments. It wasn't put there by politicians or lobbyists.
Amendment 3 was put there by voters for voters.
1 million Floridians, like me.
And me. Signed petitions to put Amendment 3 on the ballot.
To do just one thing. Give the people,
not the politicians, the final say on casino gambling.
The ballot's complicated, but Amendment 3 is simple.
Vote yes to put voters in charge.
Vote yes on 3 for you and me.
Paid political advertisement paid for by voters in charge. P.O. Box 1991, Orlando, Florida 32802.
There's healthcare, and then there's WellCare. WellCare believes in a healthier and more well-balanced you. That's why we're proud to offer Tallahassee healthcare plans that fit your needs. WellCare, beyond healthcare, a better you. Learn more at wellcareforme.com.
Save time by letting CleanersToYou.com deliver the highest quality laundry and dry cleaning service right to your door. Download our app or visit CleanersToYou.com and schedule a pickup today. Cleaners to You will handle the rest. Cleaners, the number 2, YOU.com.
Are you taking Viagra and tired of paying $50 per tablet? Marley Drug has generic Viagra for just $10 per tablet. $10 for generic Viagra is a savings of $40 per dose. Call now and get free shipping on 10 tablets or more of generic Viagra. Marley Drug is a North Carolina pharmacy licensed in all 50 states. For information, go to marleygenerics.com or call us at 800-578-1640. That's 800-578-1640.
What a day for tennis. You ready to play? Is everything all right?
This sinus pressure.
Allegra D knows that allergy congestion can get in the way of enjoying the moment.
Go ahead and practice without me.
Allegra D helps you break through congestion fast. Allegra D combines a non-drowsy antihistamine plus a powerful decongestant for 24 hours of congestion-free breathing.
Whoa, nice volley.
How about another set?
Only if you go easy on me.
Get Allegra D and get back to the moment. Starts working in 1 hour. Available at the pharmacy counter.
Attention. It's Wednesday, October 10th. What's new today on the free iHeartRadio app?
iHeartRadio.
October is here, and we've got your fall-themed playlists, like our Halloween playlist, perfect for decorating the house or just setting the scary mood. Our pumpkin spicy playlist has chill tracks with flavor and spice. Plus, we've got the podcasts everyone's talking about, like the Fantasy Footballers podcast and the Joe Rogan Experience. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio.
So I discovered Dazzle.com. It started out as the jewelry department at the Home Consignment Center, and now their entire jewelry collection, one of my rings is there as well. That's on DazzleMe.com. From the big name luxury brands, and you know which ones I'm talking about, to the unique designers that you just can't find anywhere else. All at a fraction of the price and with free shipping. Visit DazzleMe.com today. See what the buzz is all about. I'm going back on DazzleMe.com tonight.
This is an FNN News Alert. I'm Alan McBride. Hurricane Michael, a powerful Category 4 hurricane, and while the core of the storm is still approaching the Panhandle coast between St. Vincent Island and Panama City, the edge of the eye wall has already come ashore. Top winds are 150 miles per hour. The storm is moving north-northeast at 14 miles per hour. Governor Rick Scott earlier told Panhandle residents in the projected path of Michael that time is up. He tweeted this morning, "The time for evacuating along the coast has come and gone. First responders will not be able to come out in the middle of the storm. If you choose to stay in an evacuation zone, you must seek refuge immediately." Governor had said earlier this morning that many people went to bed last night thinking it was a dangerous enough storm, figuring they'd wake up to a Category 3 hurricane. Instead, they woke up to a Category 4. Michael is the most powerful hurricane ever to threaten the northwest Florida coast. Alan McBride at Florida News Network.
This is complete coverage of Hurricane Michael on News Radio 100.7 WFLA and 94.9 TNT.
Thank you so much for listening. I'm Jason Taylor with Rick Flagg and Ryan Carter in our producer's chair. And I also want to welcome our Panama City iHeartRadio stations that have picked up the broadcast. We're dealing with the actual center of the eye making its way onto the coast right now in Panama City, Mexico Beach, just east of Tyndall Air Force Base. So if you're listening over there on 92.5 WPAP, Sunny 98.5, any of those Panama City stations, we thank you very much, and we want to serve the community there just as much as Tallahassee. So please reach out to us. Call us at 850-205-9352 and let us know how you're doing. If you're okay, you can email me, Jason at iHeartRadio.com, or Preston at iHeartRadio.com. We'd love to share your thoughts on what you're experiencing on the air with others.
And how bad is Michael? Well, 155 miles per hour. That's the latest gust that is being reported. That's 1 mile per hour short of being Cat 5.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, this is amazing.
It sure is a big one, I tell you what. And we've got Scott Larimore from the Weather Channel on the line right now. Scott, can you hear me okay?
Hey, I've got you good, Jason.
Good deal. So, Scott, this is really crunch time now with Panama City dealing with the actual landfall of the eye. What do you have to share for our listeners there first?
Yeah, it looks like landfall has been made. The center of the circulation is just southeast of Panama City, talking about downtown Panama City, not the beaches, and continues to drift on to the northeast. It was just shy of Category 5 strength. This was a high-end 4, in fact, or, it's an academic argument between the high-end 4 and a low-end 5, but, boy, we were right there with pressure and wind. Panama City Airport reported 128-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Been in communication with some of our crews there in Panama City, and they're saying things like this is one of the worst ones we've experienced.
Wow. Is there anything that you can, with your expertise, you can say that this storm is going to present that's something we didn't expect, whether it's good news or bad news, where we're like saying at this point, oh, wow, we thought it would be this, but it's actually this?
Nothing about this storm has been good news. It's been all bad news, and I tell you, we're going to be dealing with cleanup for months in the wake of this thing because of the significant storm surge flooding that's going on down in Apalachicola Bay. It just looks it's going to take a long time to clean up the mess that's being made by that thing. Apalachicola kind of sticks out into the Gulf, and honestly, it couldn't have been designed any better to just funnel this onshore flow right into Apalachicola. So significant storm surge flooding there. Panama City a little more sheltered from the storm surge flooding, not to mention, they're getting storm surge flooding, but not like Apalachicola is getting.
Yeah, the pictures that we're seeing already are just heartbreaking. And this is so early in the game still. With the pictures we've seen from Indian Pass and even from as far over our way, St. Mark's and Panacea, Carabel area, the storm surge is wiping out bridges already, and this is the eye's just now getting onto our coastline too.
That's right. That eye wall is tearing up Panama City as we speak at this minute. They're seeing some significant wind there right now. The northern eye wall is right over downtown Panama City, just southeast of the beaches, and it is tearing up Panama City as we speak.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking to see that. And now up to 96,950 customers with Gulf Power that are out of power in the Panama City area, and I know those numbers keep climbing for Tallahassee as well.
Absolutely. Both of those figures are going to go up here through the afternoon and into tonight. Our fastest wind speeds in Tallahassee likely tonight, and we've already seen some 52-mile-per-hour wind gusts here in Tallahassee, and that will be going up into the 70s, I think, tonight.
So now with the eye centered right on the coast, tell us, what do you think it's going to do an hour from now when the eye is well inland? What kind of breaking up of strength is going to happen at that point, or if at all?
Yeah, the northern eye wall is well onshore. The whole eye now is onshore over the last few minutes. Literally, the southwestern eye has just touched the beach, and the southern eye wall is now coming onshore. So we'll completely get the thing on before sunset tonight, easy. And this is moving at a pretty good clip, which is bad for wind speeds, but is good for flooding, right? So this thing will move up into southwestern Georgia, just to the south of Albany by probably midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. this morning, tomorrow morning, rather. And then we'll continue across South Georgia, kind of making a beeline for Augusta, Georgia as a tropical storm.
Gotcha. And historically speaking, what kind of anticipation can we have on it losing category strength once it gets inland?
These things, thankfully, rapidly deteriorate once they lose their power source, which is the heat release from the ocean. And so now that the eye is completely on shore, we're already seeing some of the wind fields. They expand and they get wider, but they're not as intense. They're not the 155-mile-an-hour stuff. They're more like widespread 60 and 70-mile-an-hour stuff. And so that's actually what we're seeing with radar signature, indicating that the wind field's expanding as it encounters the friction now of northwestern Florida, and that will continue to weaken the storm as it loses its source of power, which is the Gulf of Mexico.
Very good. That's Scott Larimore from the Weather Channel. We thank you for joining us today, Scott, okay?
Stay safe tonight. Going to be a windy, dangerous night here. 70-mile-an-hour winds can certainly do damage here in Tallahassee, and unfortunately, it's doing it as we speak down in Panama City.
Gotcha. We'll talk to you again next hour, okay?
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you. Scott Larimore from the Weather Channel. And again, Hurricane Michael is now on the coast. It's now making landfall. And those areas east of the eye include Port St. Joe, Apalachicola, just getting hammered right now with storm surge. Weewa, little community of Sumatra, the entire Apalachicola National Forest. I can't imagine how many trees are waving back and forth or even down at that point in the forest.
Wow.
You know? So those are the folks in line right now for the path of the eye. So please be safe. Now's the time to be very safe, make good decisions. And Rick, you've got some updates. We got one from the Indian Head.
We do, and Ryan actually took this. It's a tree down, taking some power lines with it, blocking the roads. And Ryan, where did you say what was the street that's on?
I didn't get the street. I just know it's in Indian Head Acres.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. See, he said what he thought was the street before. We razzed him mercilessly on that, but
we wanted to hear you pronounce it again, Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
You're
Thanks,
like,
guys.
That's not going to happen, huh? That's okay though. Yeah, so that's Indian Head in Tallahassee, Indian Head Acres. Any kind of update you want to share with us, we'd love to hear from you, either by email or call us at 850-205-9352. And again, we're simulcasting on our Panama City iHeartRadio station, so we want to make sure we serve the communities over there very well that are actually experiencing the peak of the storm with the eye touching down on the Gulf Coast now. So again, 850-205-9352. Email jason@iheartradio.com or preston@iheartradio.com. And we just want to hear how folks are doing, how they're handling the storm right now.
And we do have those updated curfews in the area, do we not?
Yes, that was brought in by our good friend DJ Loose Kid. And I know Liberty County is currently under one. Gadsden County, as of 1 p.m., under a curfew as well. So if you're not emergency personnel, you can't be on the roads. I don't know if you have anything in addition to that.
I think the rest of those that were listed there on that slipper from Georgia.
Okay, Georgia County is very good. Yeah, we'll get some information on curfews. I think it's going to be self-explanatory from other counties in the Panhandle between here and Panama City. The number of folks without power, with Gulf Power customers in Panama City area, 97,817. So that number keeps climbing as the eye continues to get further inland on to the coast. And then Talquin, City of Tallahassee customers, we're monitoring that too. Those numbers keep climbing too.
And we've also got some road closures in Liberty County. Dempsey Barron Road is closed. Also highway, it looks like 379A. I hope I'm reading that correctly. That's due to power lines and trees down. In Wakulla County, Riverside Drive, Mashes Sands, Surf Road, Levy Bay Road, and Old Fort Road, and Bottom Road
very good
are closed.
Bottom Road, yeah, it's one right by the coast too. Also, one of the forecasters, one of the experts from the Weather Channel, had just stated that Hurricane Michael is expected to be stronger than Andrew, a storm stronger than Hurricane Andrew from 1992. Remember that?
Oh yeah, I was in Key West when that hit. That was really fun.
And like you just brought up, with 155 mile per hour maximum sustained winds, we're just 1 mile per hour shy of a Category 5 classification.
Yeah, these are the kind of winds that actually pick up the Weather Channel people and move them.
That's it, exactly. Yeah. And it's so heartbreaking to hear, the folks that have joined us on the air so far talking about how some folks won't even have a home to go back to after the storm does pass and they leave their evacuation zone.
Yeah, and this is where neighbors come in. This is where we have to come together, help our friends, and help the people you don't even know.
That's right.
That's what we're here for, and we will help you as much as we can. We'll try to steer you to help if you need it. But right now, the best thing to do is hunker down and just wait for it to pass.
That's it. If you do have internet access or power, you're very lucky at this point, and hopefully it stays that way for you. Check out our Operation Stormwatch page on any of our iHeartRadio websites. That's in Tallahassee or Panama City. So you can go to, for instance, sunny985.com, 925wpap.com for Panama City. For Tallahassee, you can go to WFLAFM.com or KissFM1071.com. It's Operation Stormwatch, a great way to stay up on the latest with the tracking of the storm. And our number here is 850-205-9352. Continuous coverage of Hurricane Michael on your Tallahassee and Panama City iHeart radio stations.
This is complete coverage of Hurricane Michael on your iHeart radio stations. WFLA FM Midway Tallahassee, WGMY Thomasville Tallahassee, WTLY Tallahassee, WTNT FM Tallahassee, WXSR Quincy Tallahassee, W287CO Tallahassee.
This is an FNN News Alert. I'm Alan McBride. Hurricane Michael, a powerful Category 4 hurricane, and while the core of the storm is still approaching the Panhandle coast between St. Vincent Island and Panama City, the edge of the eye wall has already come ashore. Top winds are 150 miles per hour. The storm is moving north-northeast at 14 miles per hour. Governor Rick Scott earlier told Panhandle residents in the projected path of Michael that time is up. He tweeted this morning, "The time for evacuating along the coast has come and gone. First responders will not be able to come out in the middle of the storm. If you choose to stay in an evacuation zone, you must seek refuge immediately." Governor had said earlier this morning that many people went to bed last night thinking it was a dangerous enough storm, figuring they'd wake up to a Category 3 hurricane. Instead, they woke up to a Category 4. Michael is the most powerful hurricane ever to threaten the northwest Florida coast. Alan McBride at Florida News Network.
This is a Fox News alert. Hurricane Michael makes landfall on Lisa Brady. The strongest storm ever to hit the Florida Panhandle, just shy of a Category 5. Fox's Eben Brown tracking it live from Miami.
And Lisa, Michael officially made landfall near Mexico Beach, Florida, in Bay County, down the shore from Panama City and Tyndall Air Force Base. And as predicted, Michael got a little stronger as it soaked up the warm Gulf moisture near the seashore. The winds are now clocked at 155 miles an hour. A number of gusts in excess of 100 miles an hour are recorded up and down the shoreline. Storm surge is now covering much of the Panhandle shoreline, too, even beyond it, down towards Tampa Bay. A reminder that landfall does not indicate a storm has passed, only that its center has reached a landmass. There is a second half of the storm that will be felt. Lisa?
Thanks, Eben. So in addition to the very powerful winds, again, just shy of a Cat 5 hurricane coming ashore in the Panhandle, there's a lot of concern about the storm surge and the heavy rainfall at Tyndall. Dozens of fighter jets were moved out before the storm. President Trump has been monitoring it.
Almost the entire size of the Gulf. When you look at it topically, it's almost the entire size of the Gulf, and they haven't seen that. Maybe they haven't seen that at all. Nobody's seen that before.
He got an Oval Office briefing earlier from the FEMA and Homeland Security chiefs, and he spoke again moments ago.
I just say, God bless everyone, because it's going to be a rough one. It's going to be a very dangerous one.
Florida's governor has said he's scared to death for anyone who did not heed evacuation warnings. A lot of concern, too, in Georgia and the Carolinas as the storm moves inland. The Carolinas still recovering from Hurricane Florence. Wall Street, a major sell-off over rising interest rates. The Dow is down 428 points. This is Fox News.
From the E&B Heating and Air Weather Center.
As Michael bears down on the Florida Panhandle, our winds will be increasing through the afternoon and overnight hours. Tropical storm force winds during the day today, and then our winds overnight could run 70 to 90 miles an hour. The wind will begin to decrease during the day tomorrow. I'm News Radio 100.7 FM, WFLA's Terry Smith in the Weather Channel Forecast Center.
Safe Touch Security was by our offices just the other day, and they played something that was very moving to me and very scary. Hi, it's David Allen for Safe Touch. We were able to listen to audio from the two-way communicator after a woman's home was broken into. The Safe Touch agent came on the line immediately after the alarm was set off, and all you could hear was the woman screaming, "Help me, help me, someone is trying to kill me." Well, as you can imagine, the reality of that conversation really set in. This was no movie. This was no television show. This was a real life scenario where a person's life hung in the balance Police were dispatched immediately, and that day, Safe Touch saved a life. For as little as $29.95 a month, you can get that peace of mind. That's less than $1 a day, fitting any budget. Find out which one is right for you at safetouch.com. That's safetouch.com.
Memory is tricky. You don't remember days, you remember moments. But when the old tapes and photos that hold your cherished memories degrade, or worse, you lose them, they're gone forever. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. 8 years ago, we started Legacy Box to help you preserve those irreplaceable moments by converting all of your old tapes, photos, and even film into perfectly preserved digital files.
Here's how it works. Load your Legacy Box with your old tapes, film, pictures, and audio, and send them in. You'll get them back in a couple of weeks on DVD or a convenient thumb drive, ready to watch, share, and relive.
We take care of everything and provide updates at every step of the process. Over 250,000 families have trusted us to preserve their memories, and we've been featured in Good Housekeeping, Parents Magazine, and USA Today.
Don't risk losing your memories forever. Order your Legacy Box today.
Visit legacybox.com/USA, and for a limited time, you'll get 40% off your order. That's legacybox.com/USA for 40% off. legacybox.com/USA.
Hi, I'm Charlie.
I'm JD.
And we're with Talon Range. Do you like the outdoors, hunting, fishing, shooting? What about personal safety, shooting skills, and current events?
If you do, then listen to the Talon Outdoor Show on WFLA, 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings, or stream it on iHeartRadio.
The following message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Natural disasters can be unexpected and devastating. Home or property is damaged and needs repairs, it's important to use only Florida licensed contractors. Remember to check their references, get everything in writing, and don't pay up front. To verify your contractors are licensed, contact the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation online at myfloridalicense.com. That's myfloridalicense.com.
This is complete coverage of Hurricane Michael on News Radio 100.7 WFLA and 105.3 The Beat.
And those are just a couple of our stations here for Tallahassee and also our Panama City iHeartRadio stations. I'm Jason Taylor along with Rick Flagg as we continue coverage of this dangerous storm that is now touched down. The eye is on our coast, and the coastline is just getting battered with storm surge, heavy wind, and rains. Now's the time to really stay safe, and let's really stay focused on getting through this.
And Michael's maximum winds 155 miles per hour. That's the just short of Category 5, making it rather historic.
That's
storm
right.
to hit the Florida Panhandle. They'll be talking about this one for generations, gang.
That's it. And we want to serve our folks over in Bay County and the Panama City area just as much as our listeners here in Tallahassee and surrounding areas too, because they are dealing with the brunt of it. And due to current weather conditions, emergency services are unable to respond to calls in Bay County. We just got this from the Bay County Emergency Services folks. First responders are ready and willing to help as soon as weather and road conditions permit. But if you call, they're not going to be able to come to you this time over in Bay County, which is understandable because they're under extreme wind warning and experiencing life-threatening winds and storm surge over there right now.
And how many Gulf Power customers are out over there?
So Gulf, I'm keeping that pulled up and refreshing.
Like 90,000 something, I believe?
Well, it's up to 99,290 right now.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Now here in town, Talquin Electric reporting almost 16,000 people do not have services. The main centers are Killarn, Lake Jackson, Shadeville, and Gretna. They're where the most outages are. City of Tallahassee reporting 11,673 customers without power. Also, we have a report of a tree down blocking both lanes of Glenview Drive between Temple and Thomasville Road in Tallahassee. Also, there are cable or phone lines down as well. But frankly, you shouldn't be out there driving anyway. So
no, not at all.
If you do have to drive for some reason, stay off of Glenview. It's blocked.
And that's just right around the corner from the radio station. And look how far inland we are from the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
And already we've got things like that happening. So this is not going to be easy anytime soon, for sure.
I'm getting another report of a tree down here. Give me just a second to bring it up. And let's see, this looks like North Ridge Road. A tree limb in the road in front of a home there. So that's just south of Spring Sachs Drive.
Gotcha. All right. Well, folks, let us know what's happening with where you are in your neck of the woods. 850-205-9352. That's for folks in Tallahassee and Panama City. We'd love to hear from you and hear how you're doing during this storm. You can also email Jason at iHeartRadio.com or Preston at iHeartRadio.com, and we'll share your emails on the air as well. We've got, is this Dr. Peter Ray on the line, Ryan? Dr. Ray, is that you?